Okay, so in this video, what I'm going to do is just overview to you the customer offer and how that's going to be changing from a paper-based version to a digital solution. So what are we talking about? Well, it's this point in the sales process, the point at which we actually give the customer the cost of change and the monthly payments that we're going to look at. So we all know how we do it currently. We use a paper version, which in itself is presentable. It does have a few little issues attached to it, namely the fact that a lot of the form, would you believe, is not actually utilised. You see how many blank spaces there are on the form, and much of the important parts are sort of very congested and tucked away. And one of the most important parts, of course, is the monthly payment. If you can see, they're actually right down here, and they're one of the smallest parts of the form itself. Not to mention the fact that, sales teams across the UK have got lots of different presentation styles. Um, so some people might sort of work in a clockwise fashion. Some people work with just the payments, and we would like to sort of get a consistency of approach, as part of our training, and of course, when we communicate directly to the client. We also find that when things do need to change, namely the deposit, the term, or maybe an add-on's got to be included or removed. When we did some experimental mystery shots, we did 11. The average waiting time before a new offer sheet came out was 9 minutes. Now, it doesn't seem a lot, 9 minutes, but you sit there waiting for a sheet to come out. That was the average. So some people were quite quick and it came out faster, but some were even more. So, they were just simple changes. It wasn't like a discount. It was just like, can you remove the warranty or change it to 36 months? So, the point being, it's a bad experience for the customer. And of course, we as salespeople don't have to keep running back and changing basic things when we might be able to do them ourselves. I'll explain more about that a bit later. If there are some simple changes that don't require a new offer sheet, for example, let's say we can't agree the monthly payment, the customer wanted it to be a little bit less. If you're using a paper solution, in other words, an offer sheet, you don't have direct access to a computer. I mean, you can reach over to a computer, but the point is that if you're in a digital solution, 2 clicks and you're immediately into a fuel saving app that can actually say to a customer, yes, but going into the new car, you're 35 quid a month better off because the fuel consumption is better. And this one really should have been the first one, or one of the reasons that we should be moving to a digital solution. For Marshall Motor Group across 2022, we would have to have physically cut down 59 45-foot pine trees just effectively to tell customers how much it's going to cost them to buy their car, when in fact it could quite easily be done on a screen. Hey presto, there is the screen. So what we'll want to do is move over to a digital solution. So you just effectively click different tabs and then finish on the payments and present those to the client. It can be presented utilizing an iPad or a laptop or a desktop. So they're all things, oh, excuse me, they're all things that are available to you. And if you do use the iPad, all you would physically do is just tap the little tabs here at the top, which is quite straightforward. So you'd move on to the add-on products, move on to the part exchange price, move on to the payments. So let's actually have a look at presenting it on an iPad. Oh, by the way, I should have said also, if you're presenting on a desktop, you just use your mouse to click onto these so the customer can see. So let's just move on to the iPad, the iPad solution. Once your manager has stacked the deal, they click the word send offer in their login, and all you would do is open your iPad and you would click on this bit, which is customer offers. As soon as you click that, you will see here all of the offers. So if you are doing this anyway, it's no change. If you look, you can see that a couple of these customers, Mrs. Jean, whoever, and Mr. Ali, they've actually already got 2 quotes in the system. So what that means is that originally this lady here would have had a presentation on this Hyundai. There would have been, for whatever reason, a change to the offer, and you can see that John has restacked it just here. And that's why if you look at the Inquiry Max reference number, it goes from being 508 to 5081. So it's an additional one, not to mention you can see the time difference. Okay, so we're going to pretend that this is the customer here, this lady called Jade. So we'll give her a little click and it takes us straight into her offer. So now this just gives us an opportunity to start presenting the figures. So they were looking at the Lexus CT 200S Sport. Price of the vehicle protected on the road is 27,801. You can then move into the add-on product and just touch on these. You don't need to go into any detail, any specific explanative detail, because we already would have done it earlier in process. So what we're really doing is saying, for illustrative purposes, indicative purposes, we're giving you a quotation that protects you in the car. It moves on then to the part exchange price, which basically the market value is £500 of your existing vehicle, Mr. Customer. So if we take that away from the cost of your new car, that leaves a changeover of 27,301. Don't refer to this part exchange price as my manager sees your car at or your car is booking at. It's the market value of the vehicle. Then we move over here to funding options, which is great because now we can now tell the customer what the monthly payment is on an HP or on a Solutions or Access Toyota, Perfect Passport, any of these types of options. So you can see here it's 446. Now, what I am going to do is just expand up this funding page a little bit bigger so that you can see it, because for some of you where there is an integrated finance solution, so for example, if VWFS is integrated with Inquiry Max or any of the brands are integrated with Inquiry Max, it means that the salesperson can make minor adjustments without having to run back to the manager to make a change. So let's say, for example, this customer here under the 8B is unhappy about the 709, but you can see here they've not put a deposit in. So, obviously one would hope we've clarified this on qualification, but Mr. Customer, could you potentially put in an extra £1,000 or a £500 deposit? If the customer says yes, it's very simple. You just click into this little box here, and up comes the keypad. So what you would then do is type in the 500, you click the calculate there, and it comes up at 694. Likewise, you can do the same things with PCP. You can actually put in negative deposits provided there is equity already. So if you look here, this part exchange has got equity of 11.5. The customer said, look, could I have £1,000 cash back? The first thing in that situation would be to run back to your manager, because it would actually appear in this little cashback box. But if you were wanting to make a minor adjustment, you could actually put a negative value into that deposit, and that would actually, in effect, be bringing that to 10. So you can see here that automatically puts the payments up from 396 to 426. So now let's say the customer is upset because that's now too much, but they are happy to extend the term. Then you can click on this term and change it to 48 months and press the recalculate, and you can see it's dropped here to 378. So they're just minor adjustments that just saves you running back to sort of go and get a fresh deal stack, and then potentially have someone wait 9 minutes. So hopefully speeds up the process. So creating a sales order is not very complicated. It's the same really as what we've done before, but I'll go through it anyway. You click, after you've done the funding options and they've agreed to your payment, you click on the offer tab and you just fill out these basic fields, which you probably do already. Estimated delivery, are they financing it? What deposit are they putting down? You then scroll up and up comes this. So you can see they're still there. I've just got to the save button, give it a little click. And then it says, what do you want to do? So we can exit this and go to a desktop system and print the order form. Or you can click generate order form and up it comes. What you then do is they scroll down the page to show the customer all of the information. They're happy with what's in and they want to sign it. You click here, sign order form from customer, and your iPad then becomes a signature interface. So they would just, write with their finger, they sign their signature with their finger on the iPad. Sorry, a bit of a cough. Click on the confirm, and now we sign it. So we click, just in case you missed that, sign order form from dealer. So I'm going to sign it there, Patrick, and happy days, you can now see my signatures. So if the customer is happy that we email them a copy of this rather than print it, think about those trees, we can click on the email order form just here. And if you've already put the customer's email address in when you were qualifying the client, then that should automatically appear just here. Your email will automatically be here as well. And then we just click send and boom, off it goes to the client. I will explain the desktop version, which is almost identical. All we do, from the desktop, once your manager sends you the offer to say, look, it's all done, it's all stacked and ready for you to present to the customer, you will now see that you've got a little offer button now that's in your menu at the top amongst all your others. There's a little offer button. If you give that a click, what will happen is you will see this the offer here for your customer. Now, bear in mind, look, there's an Inquiry Max tab that is open. When I click just here, another tab will open up. So I'll open this now. So I'll give that a little click, and it opens up, and now you can see another little tab. So that means you can jump back to Inquiry Max whilst you've already got this tab open should you need to. So same thing, but you're going to have to use the mouse because unless your laptop or computer's got an interface, a sort of touch screen. But otherwise, you're just going to click on that and just present the little bits and pieces. It's really easy. Click on the funding options. Okay, so now we're on the funding options. I'm not going to take you through it again because it's really, really easy. But you see this cash deposit here. If you need to make that, instead of being 953, make it 900, then you just put in an extra, grand or whatever, a couple of grand or whatever it might be. So you can actually make these little changes here, so it makes it nice and straightforward. If I click on this bit here, which is offer details, it's quite straightforward. It's the same as the iPad. You just fill out the basics and then swipe up, so effectively it's going down. And then once you've done that, you click on the save button. Okay, and we can now just do the same thing. So I just sort of click on that generate order, scroll through the form so the customer's happy with its content, click sign order form just here. But because the computer screen is not a signature interface, they basically got to use the mouse to do it. So pretty dodgy signatures, but nonetheless, you can do that if you so wish. We do the same thing as well. And there you can see, look, nice and easy. They're all in there for you. So hopefully that wasn't too complicated, and makes a better experience for you and the customer. So thank you for watching.